Welcome to How the Blank by What the Blank, and today is How the Technology.
Technology changes entertainment in general, right? And so we wanted to talk about like some new technology that we're excited about that we've seen in the entertainment world right now, and kind of talk about what we want in the future and what we want to see in the future, right? And so there's so much technology that's so cool, because we talked about in the history episodes, right, how technology changed things up, right? It changed theater into radio into movies, right? Which is insane, right? And
now they're making movies into VR and AR experiences, and it's crazy what's happening.
Yeah. So, who wants to start us? Who has like a technology that they love talking about?
I guess I'll start if you're looking at me. So, with the music side of things, man, I've been seeing a lot of crazy things coming out. So there's actually the software that was released recently that's called Wizard AI software, and basically what it is it's this software that you can connect with your recording and production software that is completely run by AI. But what it is it's basically the synthesizer that you can plug in with your keyboard or your electric piano or whatever synthesizing instrument that you have, and you literally can just play a chord or play some sort of melody or a bass line or whatever, and then you can tell it to create something that goes along the lines with it, and it will create a melody, or it will create a chord or a bass line or a drum loop that matches that thing that you just played. It's crazy.
So like, if you want, like, let's say you have this piano piece, but you want it in guitar, could it do that?
I don't know if it can change. Well, I mean, I think you can just change the instrument to make it sound like that.
Okay.
But really, from what I was looking at is what it really does, and I really want to get it just to test it out and see what I can do with it. But it's like $300.
Okay.
But it might be worth the investment later on. But for right now, it's still kind of gimmicky from what I've read online, because it's still brand new.
Yeah.
It's still new software and it's a new development, but it'd be really cool to see what it can do. But basically, from what I've read and what I've seen videos on, is what you can do is when you record something in, like, let's say I record a piano melody, and it's like this nice, beautiful, just simple piano melody, and I tell it, okay, let's do these chords that match with it. And so you literally just tell it, play chords. And so it goes through the melody that you recorded, and it puts chords in there that match that melody line. And then you can change the way it sounds, whether you want to have like a bass chord, or you want to have like a guitar chord, or whatever else you want it to sound like. And you can make it sound like that thing just by having it record something else on top of what you record, which is really interesting because that's never happened before. Like, we've never had anything in the past that can ever do that, which is really cool, because now we have an entire algorithm, like an entire software that can create an entire song for you just by listening to one little thing that you record. It's crazy. Like, it could exponentially expedite the production process, because now, I mean, even just with AI itself, like, we have softwares now that can just produce complete songs on its own, and you just tell it, like, oh, produce a Drake type of song or Kanye West type of beat or whatever, and it'll just produce a beat kind of like that. And then there's other softwares that will take their voices and will make it sound like they're actually rapping. And there's been really popular songs that have come out in meme form that have come out, and
like cartoon characters singing popular songs.
Exactly, like
Yeah.
the SpongeBob
So
ones. And dude, they come out really good. Like the SpongeBob ones. Have you seen that? Yeah,
Yeah.
they've got those all over.
Plankton and Patrick always
Best singers.
kill.
Yeah.
Gonna clean up your looks with all the lies in the books to make a citizen out of you. Because they sleep with a gun and keep an eye on you, son, so they can watch all the things you do. Because they're trying to work, they gonna give you a smirk, cause they got methods of keeping you clean. They gonna rip up your heads, your aspirations to shreds. Another cog in the murder machine. They say, "I'll see it, just scared, believe in shit."
Like, especially when you do like Patrick as a female voice, right? It's awesome.
That's a weird kink.
Cheesy.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy the way that they have these set up. But not even just with that, but like even the new software and recording production stuff that you can get from like Native Instruments, which is one of the companies that produce these instruments and these different synthesizers. They have these ones that you can like it's really cool what they do, because they'll either pre-record like vocal tracks. So for instance, there's a software that I downloaded a long time ago. It was like $180, and I bought it a long time ago, and it's called Mysteria. Basically what it is they have these voices that they recorded in a studio a long time ago, like a big orchestral type of like chorus thing. And what they did is they turned these voices into a synthesizer, where you can change the way that the voices sound to make it sound like either a horror track or an orchestral angelic track or something like that. And you can play like different chords with it, you can play melodies with it, and you can add multiple different voices to it. So you can make it have like a male's voice down here at the bottom and female voices at the top, and you can change the way it sounds. And you can make it go anywhere from just like a normal human voice all the way to like this alien type of like landscape sound. It's very interesting what you can do. But those are some of the basic ones that I've kind of played around with and looked at. But they also have other ones that you can use for drum machines. They have ones that are completely AI run that just do drums, and you can add like your bass line in there, and then you can tell it create a drum track on this, and it'll go through like all the different sounds and all the different beats that could go with it. And you can either pick one that sounds best to you, or you can just tell it to put one in there, and it just does it. It's crazy what it can do. And then obviously with the vocals on top of it, you have other ones that basically just like a vocoder, but instead of having it just make your voice sound like a robot, you can turn your voice into like to sound like anything or anyone. And so if you want to make your voice sound like a dog or a cat or something like that, or Mr. Krabs, you can just sing something random into your microphone and play the chord or play the melody along with it, and it'll just make you sound like Mr. Krabs that's singing. It's really crazy.
Sounds like it's going to create a lot of deep fakes, or
Oh,
it's
yeah.
going to create make it where you don't have to be talented at all to create music.
Dude, that's kind of what's happening. And there's even softwares and like apps out there on your phone now that you can just download for free. You can get these things for free, and you can literally just like, it's so dumb because you don't even have to be talented at anything. All you have to do, click a button, it'll play like a melody or a chord for you. And then you click another button, it puts a bass track on it. And then you click another button, it puts a drum track on it. And you have an entire song within minutes. Compared to like before, where you have to be talented to like play the instrument, practice it a billion times, record it properly, go through it and change everything that doesn't sound good or make it sound perfect. And it's just like there's not really much of a need for talent anymore when it comes to production at this point. You know what I mean? But I still like to keep it traditional. Like I still like being able to keep it where I'm recording things the way that I know it's going to sound like, especially when you're doing custom music, because clients want to have a certain sound to it, and you can't really just do that with AI. I mean, yeah, you can, but it's not going to be as good
Or as crisp.
Yeah, exactly. It won't be as good or as connected as it would be if you were to just do it with your own human hands or voice. You know what I mean? Like there's a certain connection and energy that you get when a person does it compared to a computer. And I think that's something right now that a computer cannot match to, is human talent right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's a certain talent that comes from a human that knows what they're doing compared to what a computer can do. But those are some of the basic ones that I've looked into so far, and they're really crazy.
So how do you think this will negatively affect the music world?
Dude, so actually what we've been seeing now is singers and songwriters, like even popular ones, have signed petitions to actually stop AI music production software, because it's ruining careers. And what we're seeing now is these artists and these talented singers and songwriters are losing their ability to keep up, because there's AI that can write an entire song for you, like just lyrics alone. They can write an entire song from start to finish just by telling it what you want the song about. It'll create the entire lyric list. And then you just have to go up and sing it. That's it. You don't have to have any talent in writing your own songs. You don't have to know anything about music at this point for it to just do it for you.
You know, there's nothing wrong with that name.
There was nothing wrong with it until I was about 12 years old, and that no-talent ass clown became famous and started winning Grammys.
And we're seeing so many songs coming out like that now. Like so many like artists and singers and songwriters who aren't even popular, they're becoming viral because they're using AI and they're just throwing it out there and people just love it because it's just working now. But it's sad because like even though it doesn't have that same connection, people can't really tell because it's so close right now. But to me, I still don't think it'll match like what you can do with custom music for like certain people. But yeah, man, like I think it's gonna hurt careers if it's not at least regulated.
I'm about to end this man's whole career.
Done. I also think it's gonna like promote fake news.
Oh yeah,
too,
yeah.
because
deep fakes.
Yeah, because the thing is, one of my professors, right, he was looking up Shakespearean fight scenes.
Oh yeah.
Right, for our stage combat class, and he was looking up stuff, and it gave him this whole scene, and he was like, oh, from Titus and Andromachus or something like that, right? And he's like, okay, tell me more about it, and it created a whole new scene.
Wow.
That has never been before, and he was like, this was an amazing scene, amazing fight scene, but it's not real. And he asked AI, I'm like, is this a real from Shakespeare? And it's like, yeah. And then he's like, are you sure? He's like, and then it's like, oh, actually, we created this. and it's
gaslighting.
Yeah, like, and the AI gaslighted him, right?
Yep.
Like, it was like, what the heck?
Yep.
So I think it's so interesting how we're gonna get this fake news, this fake thing, and we might lose a lot of information.
Have you seen those videos from the Sora things yet?
No.
So Sora is owned and created by OpenAI, who owns and created ChatGPT. And Sora is a new software that you can purchase, and you can use it to create AI videos. And those videos, dude, you can almost not even tell that they're AI created. They look so realistic. Like, and they're all over the internet. Like, you can just look up Sora videos, and it'll just show you, because like they have one with dogs that they're golden retrievers, and the hair is like so perfectly created, the faces are so perfect, and they're like running and jumping in snow, and you can't even tell because the snow looks so perfect. Like, it looks so realistic, but it's freaking AI. And there's ones with people that it created human beings, and you can't even tell because it looks so clear and so realistic compared to what AI used to be like 2 years ago. Like, it's developed so fast in a matter of years. Like, less than that, like months, dude. It's just, it's going so fast.
I hear it's really good because it does make technology and creation better and easier, right?
At least a lot faster to do.
But I think we need to use AI as a tool,
Yeah.
not a promise.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
where it's like, oh, I'll get you this song in 5 seconds.
Dude,
right?
I think using AI in like small bits and pieces to help out, at least like if you're stuck on something, you don't know, like, okay, well, what do I do next? You can use AI to help you at least progress through that block. But then the rest of it should at least be done by you if you can. You know what I mean?
My stepfather, not my stepfather, I'm sorry, my father-in-law.
Weird switch.
Stepfather and father-in-law.
My father-in-law, he's a computer programmer, right? And he programs websites, everything, right? He's been doing it for 20, 30 years, right? Almost 40, I think, right? And he talks about how AI is helping him quite a bit because it can program things, but he just fixes what's wrong.
Yep.
And he's able to get a product out to a client so much quicker now than he was ever able to.
Yep.
Right. But the thing is, it can't replace him because he knows all the things.
Yeah.
Right.
AI can only do so much on its own.
Yeah. And what's interesting is humans are always growing and getting better. And he said, we need to use it to get a leg up. right? Like, let's say you're an artist and you're trying to design something for someone,
Yep.
right? And they're like, "Oh, can you get me a quick sketch of like what you're thinking?" Right? You can do that through Chat GBT and all the AI, and they can be like, "Oh, do you like this? No, okay. Change it up, type it a little bit different.
Yep.
Do you like this? Do you like?" And then they're like, "Oh yeah, I like this. I want something like this."
Yep.
And then you can take it as an artist and make it even better and like add on to it, which I think that's how AI should be used.
Yeah.
And that is the best way it should be used.
Yep.
While it shouldn't be the final product.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it should be used in
agree.
part. Like even like I think Wix actually just started using AI for website development. Actually, I think they just released that really recently.
About a year ago.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was a year ago. Holy
Yeah.
crap, dude, that doesn't feel like a year, man. Like everything's been flying by so fast. But yeah, Wix has that, and Canva has an AI generation thing to help with creating logos and other things too. So it's like we're able to use AI for so many things. But yeah, what about you, Brandon? What have you found?
I didn't have anything on AI.
No, it doesn't have to be AI.
But so kind of like in the terms of like just general entertainment and unique entertainment. I know you're probably going to say something about theater.
Yeah.
I was looking at different things, and I was actually looking at this quite a while ago and seeing how it's developed over time. But like the circus has kind of died off since like the whole thing with like the animals, and they don't let animals be in the circus anymore.
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah,
like, this-
animal abuse and animal rights.
Yep.
which honestly is kind of a good thing.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
a
it
great
is because
thing.
there used to be a lot of animal abuse in those things in the past.
And but that took like a big hit on the circus and like what people expected the circus to be, especially since like a lot of the sideshow freaks, so to speak, aren't really sideshow freaks anymore.
They're
just-
people.
Yeah, they're just
people.
normal people on
Which we-
TikTok.
which we talked about in the history episode.
Yeah.
Like they just turned into what everyone does now,
Yep.
which came from their popularity.
Yeah.
But to replace that, like circuses without animals are called cirques.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah. And so like there's so many different like ways people have gone about doing cirques, but there's a German cirque that has been touring the last couple of years that had a brand new technology that was developed, and I can't remember, but I'll put it in the video what the name of that cirque is. And so they have like the ring of the circus, like still in the circle shape, and they have this really really thin, silky scrim-like material.
Scrim, yeah.
Like super 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 thin, that is to the point where when you're sitting in the front row, even though it's between you and the actors, you can't see it.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
And it's supposed to be raised up and lowered without you even being able to tell.
Whoa.
And it's not a scrim in the same way that like theaters use scrim, but it's through an up top hologram that uses like the whole mirror system still, but it reflects off the scrim.
So they create animals using the hologram system with the scrim?
Yeah, so you still see.
Holy
And
crap.
it's 3D.
So
no
it
matter-
looks real.
Yeah, because you're still sitting in an arena in a circle shape, and no matter where
Bro.
you're at in that circle, it looks like an actual 3D
What?
real life thing.
Dude.
And that's how they still have the lions doing tricks. They have elephants. Sometimes they magnify the animals where they're just massive, or they'll have like clowns and jesters doing tricks and stuff, but like majorly magnified, right?
So they're basically creating circuses in like holographs now.
Yeah. On top of like the real actual performers, like the acrobats and stuff.
So are they basically just actors at this point?
I mean, technically, the technology is working for you. It's once the programmers are done, you just need people to run the systems.
Yeah.
Dude, that is so
Yeah.
weird.
But it's like majorly.
What's
cool.
tripping me up the most is that they're calling them circs.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
like tripping on that one
Like,
right
that's
now.
so much
like,
harder to say than circus.
Yeah,
Well,
it's weird.
And they did that because they wanted to differentiate.
It's so
when
weird.
when circs were made, they needed to differentiate. So
Yeah.
that's why they're like, oh, circus has animals, circs does not. Right? That's
Interesting.
why it's circo. So Circos. So, oh my gosh.
Stop talking.
You know what I'm saying.
You're the silent partner now.
I'm the captain now.
Hush, little Braxton. Don't say a word.
Gosh dang it. But you know what I'm talking about.
No.
The acrobatics.
Say it again.
Circo dis. Gosh dang it.
It's okay. Don't hurt
Is
yourself.
that talent?
Basically, yeah.
It's the one that's in Vegas all the time.
Oh.
Circle A?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny that you got it the first try. It took him 20 different tries to get it.
When you try your best but you don't succeed.
So much harder to say circ than it is circus.
Yeah, it really
Yeah.
is now. That's crazy, dude. That's such an interesting
I'm proof.
technology, though. Like, that they're using a tiny little screen that you can't even see, and they're projecting holograms on it.
Yeah.
Like, have you seen those little things that you can connect on top of your phone, and it projects this?
It's this. They do the mirroring.
So
at
it's like the same
level.
effect.
Like this, yeah.
Wow.
But-
On a much larger scale that you can't see.
Yeah, and
That's
it's in a circle way.
Dude,
Yeah.
that's so cool.
Well, like the scrim on the side is just the reflection. So
Yeah.
It's just another illusion.
Where can you
off
find
the mirror.
these?
It's online.
You can just watch them online?
Yeah.
Oh,
But like to
That's not
actually
fun.
have the technology like
In
that
person.
yeah.
Yeah. Like you can get the ones on your phone for free. Like,
Oh.
And they'll teach you how to like make your own little thing to look.
Well, no,
at.
I know, but I'm talking. Oh,
The real technology.
Is in Germany.
No, yeah,
in
I'm-
Germany.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just the German way. You are German, right?
That's where it's getting really popular. I think it could be like anywhere.
But they
There's
don't have
always-
anything here in America currently.
Well, that's the thing is they probably easily could, but you have to have such high capital because
Oh,
to
'cause it
get the
costs a lot of
system,
money.
It's hundreds of thousands.
Yeah, you got to have like straight up good upfront money for
Because
that.
Yeah.
all of the mirror technology is
Yeah,
synced,
that's
right?
crazy.
So, and you have to sync it in a certain way, kind of like with the circle or the sphere. Sorry, the sphere in Vegas,
Yeah,
right? It has to be synced a certain way,
interesting.
and that's why it's so expensive, right?
Yeah.
And that's why ads on there are expensive because you have to program them and get them to
Yeah.
go a certain way because they'll look different on a regular flat screen
Than they
than on
would
a
with-
curved screen, and
Makes
those
sense.
are also curved.
And one
So
little mistake is
interesting.
probably so noticeable.
Mm-hmm.
One small mess up, and the whole thing goes down.
Man, dude,
Yeah.
there's a lot of stuff that goes into that, dude. I wonder if they use AI to help progress that
Probably.
to make it go faster. You know what I mean? Like, especially with the sphere. Like, I can't imagine being a guy that's like sitting there for hours and hours on end just programming every little detail. Like, that would suck, dude. But there are people who like doing that, so
Yeah.
you know.
Well, it's not necessarily the individual screens themselves.
Yeah.
It's the connecting part
Yeah.
that has to be man done because they'll be like, it's close enough. AI
And it's
usually,
not. Yeah.
perfection is done by human.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. But the technology I wanted to talk about was, so LED, and projection on props and set,
Oh.
right? So literally there are these things, especially in Vegas, and in theaters where they are full on like animatronic hands, animatronic creatures and stuff that are using holograms, projections, and LEDs to transform and turn into things.
Oh, interesting.
Right, and they use scrim and all these things to become real. Like, so there's this show, I can't remember the name, but there's a giant phoenix at the end that they use a scrim that comes from the center and they spread it out to make a physical eagle.
Dude.
Like, and so that you can see it on all sides. Right, and
Wow.
it's like glittery, and it has glitter literally coming off of it that goes into the audience. And I'm like, how do they freaking do that? Like, because I know they do use a scrim, but I don't know the exact technology.
Wow.
I want to know, like,
How they do it without ripping the scrim.
Yeah.
As it's unfolding. Like, 'cause most of the time it's just flat.
yeah,
Huh.
Yeah, and the thing is, a actor is standing on top of it.
What
Like it
the
is this
heck?
eagle that comes out, and it's like, what the heck was that? Like,
Dude, that is really crazy.
and so that's where kind of theater is going, is using these optical illusions and these to make things so much more realistic on stage, right? They use a lot of projections now, TV screens, LED screens. LED screens are huge on Broadway right now. That's how they can make a really cool, intricate set in the
Yeah.
background without like just painting it, right? And so they'll just put one up in a theater, and then they just have a graphic designer literally make the backdrop, and you just have to make a set that works with it.
Wow.
Right. So pretty much
crazy.
a natural scrims will probably go away once the LED stuff becomes more and more accessible and easier to make. Right? Which I
Yeah.
think which it is actually. It's getting thinner and thinner cuz you've put up LED screens before with your job with Rhino.
With almost every event, corporate event, conference, concert, like everybody uses them.
How thick are those screens usually?
Not very, and they're easily broken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so apparently they're getting thinner and thinner and easier to not break, right? Because they're finding different metals that can actually take an electric current that won't break or break the current.
Have you seen those OLED wallpaper TVs?
Yeah.
They're literally like almost paper thin, and you can literally just roll them almost. Like it's so crazy that you can almost roll them, that they're that thin. And they're so thin you can't even tell that they're there. Like they look like a picture on your wall, but it's a TV. And I'm like, how do you make a TV that freaking thing? I mean, my TV is kind of thin, but it's not
Paper.
yeah,
Like,
it's not like OLED wallpaper thin. Like that's crazy. And I mean, even just imagining a TV that's that thin, it shouldn't be that hard to imagine that there's a screen that's so thin that you can project holograms on it at this point. Like it's just crazy. And even like LED screens that you can do all that stuff with at this point. Like
Well,
it's just a lot, dude.
And imagine a whole LED wall. Imagine like every inch of a stage, like a black box.
That would be cool.
But LED, right? And you change everything to fit what changes in it. And you could take away pretty much any set change.
Wow.
And make it like,
Yeah.
You can do it like
Bam.
instantly.
yeah.
That'd be like a really cool like attraction. Not even if you did it in a theater, but like if you did something like a Meow Wolf type thing and just did LED lights.
There are actually attractions. I don't know where there's at, but there are some that use they kind of use like the infinity mirror type illusion, but they have like big LEDs underneath them, and they have those mirrors that go across the whole thing, and then they have like these black glass tops so it doesn't reflect the light, so you can't tell. And so when you're walking on it, it looks like you're literally like walking on the ocean or a forest, and they have it go up the walls and the ceiling and everything. I don't know where these are at, but it looks like you're in that space. And kids like, so it's funny watching the videos because like the kids are like wobbly, like I don't know what's going on, and then the floor will move and they'll like fall down, dude. It's really funny to watch. I don't know what they're called or where it's at, but it's really funny to watch.
And Meow Wolf has
Yeah, they have some stuff
like
kind of like that. Yeah.
But I would love a black box that is literally that. Like I could do so many shows.
Oh yeah.
In there, and like, oh, I would love it.
Give it to me.
Like,
You'd have to put like a protective glass that doesn't have like the inner reflections.
yeah, the like a polymer, like
Or like an epoxy.
an
almost.
epoxy.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like, obviously, like an epoxy would like bleed through and break the circuitry. So, but like something like similar to that, where like nobody's gonna bump into it and you have to replace it every couple days.
Yeah. Yeah, I would love that. I'd love that so much. I think that would change theater again, you know?
Yeah.
Because they're kind of doing it with film right now.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
you know the whole technology with The Mandalorian, right?
No.
So they have this whole back thing that's generated. It's a screen.
Yeah.
And they film on this screen, and the screen is the backdrop.
Oh, that's cool.
Right, and so they just computer edit some stuff that they need to be in it that isn't. So like, so it's not the final thing, but it's pretty close, and they just fix it up, and it makes production and post production so much quicker.
Wow.
And refilming so much quicker, and you can refilm seconds instead of starting over from one.
Wow.
Right? So
that's awesome. So what are some technologies that we would like to be able to see in the coming years, whether it's 5 to 20 to 50 years from now before we die?
Yeah, one thing that I would love to see is like kind of like with the LED things, but like kind of like Lego blocks where it's like it comes up from the ground and it can come back down, where like you can like design things like by like pushing up and being like, okay, I want it this tall, this thing, and it just like forms to it, and you could like do device theater that way.
Wow.
And literally do like an improvised show with set that just can appear.
Yeah.
Like, because it just fills in with blocks. Like, kind of like in Big Hero 6 with the microbots, right? How, like, he can, anything he thinks he can create. I want to see something like that, but in a more theatrical way, where it's like, and it builds.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I think I'd like to see something like that too, where it's I don't know if like I would need like the building animations to it, but like something that just seamlessly changes the environment and around you, and like even if it's just like a really large room that can give like the illusions like you're traveling to different spots. Like I think that would be such a cool advancement for film, theater, or even just like mainstream attractions itself. It could be its own like escape rooms would be really cool in that.
Yeah.
Like, haunted houses. Like that would be that would probably be like the next level thing I'd want to see before I die.
Yeah.
What about you, Jackson?
Dude, so there's been a technology that I've always wanted to create, and I know for a fact I will never be able to do this on my own. So I'm okay with people taking this idea for me because there's already ideas kind of like it out there, but it's not quite what I was wanting. But I've always wanted to create a thing called a synth suit, which is basically this suit that would have like little motion sensing nodes all over the entire suit that you can just put on, whether it's like an actual like suit or if it's just kind of like this little skeleton that you put on. And what it does is it'll connect. And now that we have technology like Neuralink, this would be much easier to do. But the way that it would work is you would connect it through either like a Bluetooth system or some sort of wireless system where when you dance and you move your body, you can create music like that. And
cool.
you can just hit record, and you can change the way that the sounds sound just by raising your hand up a certain way and like moving like the faster you move your body and like the different ways you move your body is like a different way that a certain instrument's going to sound. Like if you want to have like a drum on your foot and like a bass on your leg or something like that, you can move your body in different ways and create sounds and different music like that.
So like kind of like how dancers follow music, but it's the
but you
other
create
way,
it
like inverse.
Yes, but the dancers are the ones that create. The way that I was thinking about it originally was dancers would be able to put these suits on and choreograph an entire dance around this music that they create at the same time, and then they go out and perform that like a live band would, but with their own music that they create through dance.
That would be sick.
But I don't know how to do that. That's why I'm saying somebody please create it, because I would love to see it.
And then be the performer.
And then please perform it for me, because I would love to see that. Do like a personal little performance for me.
A little sideshow for
in
Jackson.
my Las Vegas hotel room.
Do it. Do it.
Just kidding.
That got awkward.
Well, if you would like to stay in touch and follow us on our venture to new technologies, please look up What the Blank Entertainment on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Spotify. If you're watching us on YouTube, keep watching us on YouTube. If you're not watching us on YouTube, why are you not?
Why the blank?
Yeah. And please follow us for more. Go to whattheblank.org to see all of our projects and all of our events. And if you want to collab with us, please reach out through there. And if you want to register for the Kim Project, you can register there.
Yep. Or send us an email at whattheblankentertainment@gmail.com.
And these are what we have to offer until technology advances.
Bye!